Good afternoon, everybody. It's Melissa and Angie. It's Friday afternoon, April 3rd, and we just wanted to give you an update on the real estate market. As you can see by my hair and Angie's ears, we are having fun and being who we are, and we hope that you're doing the same, being who you are and having some fun today and this weekend throughout this whole quarantine process for that matter. We thought we might update you on what the governor's shelter in place, his executive order has in regards to the real estate market. If you go to the attachment A, critical infrastructure entities, it'll show you there by the Department of Homeland Security that real estate is listed as an essential business.
That's right. And right now, real estate values continue to improve and rise and have done so with every recession or downturn, with the exception of 2007 during the actual housing crisis. So real estate will continue to move forward. The reason for that is that there's very little inventory on the ground, unlike the housing crisis in 2007 when there was plenty of inventory on the ground, which only compounded the situation at that time. So with low inventory coupled with amazing interest rates right now, we expect that real estate will continue to thrive for several years to come and continue to do so.
We are, as Angie was talking about, it is business as normal, business as usual. However, we are having to make some modifications in how we are doing business. We want to take the safety precautions, both for our clients and for like on the buy side, to make sure those sellers and everybody in the transaction stay safe.
Right, and one example of that would be closings. So right now there's a couple different approaches to a closing, which is a little different than what we traditionally do. We can do private closings. So that basically means it's either the buyer or the seller that is going to be in the office only with the closing attorney. Whatever pen you use to sign the closing documents with, you get to keep as a souvenir. So no one has ever touched that pen. So they're doing all those things to kind of make you safe if you decide to come into the office. Then you could also do a drive-through closing where you actually sit in your car, sign the documents, you're not face-to-face with anyone, you're not touching anybody, and they can approach it that way. Another thing that you can do would be a power of attorney closing. So that's another approach we can use. Whatever is going to make you most comfortable, we can do any of those things right now just to keep everyone safe.
And along those notes, that line, in order to have closings, we have to have listings. Our buyers on the Think Melissa team need your homes. All the other buyers are out there in the market need your homes. So we do have listings on our team that are coming to the market over the next 5 to 6 weeks, which is wonderful, but so do all the other agents in the industry, which is wonderful because, as Angie just mentioned, we do have a backed up, pent up need for your home and others because the great news about this market is that only serious buyers are out there. And Angie, didn't you tell me the last 2 or 3 offers that you wrote in the last week were all multiple offer situations?
They're all multiple offers.
All multiple offers. So not that that's good for our buyers, but it's good for our sellers in the sense that these are all serious buyers and they are out there looking. They're not wasting our sellers' times. And it's, we're only showing those people and they're only going to homes where they're serious about what's happening right now.
Right. And speaking of showing, so we've had a lot of clients ask us questions, are you still showing homes? And the answer is yes, we are. We're approaching showings a little differently than we normally do in the sense that we make sure that the seller's not home when we're showing property. We do use hand sanitizer when we enter the home. We use hand sanitizer when we leave the home. We ask the seller to turn all the lights on so we're not touching light switches and turning stuff on and off. The other thing that we can do as far as showings go is we can do a virtual showing. So I could go to the property for you if you don't feel comfortable going to the actual property and walking around. We can FaceTime and I can give you a private tour via FaceTime. We can approach it that way as well. There's a lot of things we can do to keep everybody safe and to meet everyone's comfort level as it pertains to showings. Sadly, we can't hug and we can't handshake and do all the things that we normally do, but and we certainly miss that, and we can't wait to get back to the norm of being able to do those things.
Absolutely. And we wanted to talk about mortgages, what's happening in the lending industry. Interest rates, when all this first started happening, was very volatile, but that's all leveled out now. VA and conventional guidelines have not changed. FHA is evolving, and they may make some more changes to their guidelines. What this means, though, however, is that every lender is different. It is specific to the lender based off of their risk threshold. So mortgage company A is going to have different practices, just as they did before this scenario went down. There's going to be different practices in place for lender A than there would be for lender B and C. So it all matters, and it all goes back to what they're willing to risk and what their thresholds are. So that would be a case-by-case basis, and we would suggest that you speak to your lender, or if you need a recommendation, we could do so.
Now, you may have found during this time of quarantine that we've all had that you might have discovered that you have some tight quarters over there. So you may feel like, okay, when this is all over with, we need a little bit more space. Or you may have determined that we need less space so that we don't have so many bodies in this house. Or you may have also determined that, hey, I need a dedicated home office space, which I don't have. So if any of those things have occurred to you during this quarantine time, certainly let us know. We'll be glad to help you. On the flip side of that, you may determine that you've actually fallen in love with your house all over again and you want to stay, and that's perfectly fine too.
And as always, Angie and I are here as a resource for you, now and in the future. We hope that you stay well, stay happy, be positive, and just remember to check on each other.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.